The Angry Video Game Nerd movie is finally here. Well, I shouldn't say finally, that makes it seem like I'm disappointed with how long it's taken or that I somehow have any idea how long it takes to make an independent, community-funded film. I don't. First off, this review has no spoilers. Zero. The Angry Video Game Nerd movie is a project I've been following since its announcement, and to see it come to life is incredible and rewarding as a fan. I've been a faithful AVGN supporter since its conception. Hell, the nerd is one of the main reasons I started the Hello Greedo YouTube channel. I even have an Angry Video Game Nerd movie poster signed by James Rolfe himself. Influence and inspiration comes from many sources, and James's nerd was the primary source of mine, so I just want to say thank you to him for sparking the idea inside of me to make some goofy videos and toss them on the internet. The Angry Video Game Nerd movie is important. It's important in the sense that it shows how a passion for something can generate passions in others, and that a community-funded movie has the ability to blossom into something beautiful. It's 2014 and anyone can make a movie with time, equipment, and hard work. You don't need a major studio anymore. You can make your vision come to life with a few friends and an idea. If you're a fan of the Angry Video Game Nerd, you will be a fan of this movie. If you've never heard of the Angry Video Game Nerd, you probably won't like this movie. Of course there will be some exceptions out there, but for the most part, and this is my opinion, I don't think many mainstream moviegoers out there will get much out of this film. My wife didn't like it. In fact, she kinda hated it. And hey, that's fine. She doesn't know the nerd, she doesn't know the ET legend, she doesn't know the AVGN community. The movie was funded by fans and made for fans, so it makes sense. What's great about the movie is that you don't have to know anything about the Angry Video Game Nerd to understand it. They do a great job of setting up the character and the history of AVGN at the beginning of the film. But to understand some, maybe most, of the jokes, you kinda have to have a larger understanding of AVGN history. The movie is exactly what I was expecting. Classic facial expressions, ridiculous long-winded explanations for why things are shitty, and white-collared short-sleeve pocket protector shirts. It's a movie that's aimed at a certain audience and fires with perfect precision. What I found most compelling about the movie was the plot. They took a video game legend and put a very clever and goofy spin on it. I won't tell you what the Atari ET legend is, just in case you don't know and want to dive into the movie blind, but the twist that they brought to it was, for me, completely unexpected and very clever. The audience follows a team of 3 on a quest to discover the true story behind one of the biggest mysteries in video game history. Along the way, our heroes encounter twists and turns and some very outlandish and over-the-top characters, and that's what this movie can be boiled down to. Outlandish and over the top. In a good way. In a way that calls back to classic monster or sci-fi films from the 50s, in a way that only the nerd can bring. One of the main complaints I've heard from folks across the net relates to the visual effects. I don't know what these people were expecting. For one, the movie had a small budget in comparison to the scope they were trying to achieve. Secondly, if you know James Rolfe, you know he loves practical effects, men in rubber suits, and scaled models. James has stated on multiple occasions that he appreciates when an audience can see how the effect was achieved. I completely agree with that statement. Maybe it's a generational thing, who knows? Yes, some of the visual effects were cheesy and downright stupid, but that just added to the charm. And there's a lot of charm to be found in the AVGN movie. While watching the movie, I found myself visualizing the team behind the camera, setting up props, destroying models, just having good old-fashioned fucking fun, similar to a kid with a bottle rocket strapping a G.I. Joe action figure on it for the ride. The movie will have a very nostalgic feel to anyone who picked up their parents' video camera as a kid and tried to make some movie magic in their backyard. The most surprising thing to me about the AVGN movie was the score, composed by Bear McCreary and Kyle Justin. The music was fantastic. The variations in the AVGN theme song, from slowed down and introspective to triumphant and speaker crushing, were amazing. The score fit the tone perfectly in every scene. In the final act of the film, my surround sound speakers were screaming at the top of their lungs, and my subwoofer was scaring the ever-living shit out of my 2 cats. Turn it up, guys. This movie begs you to have an eargasm. When the Angry Video Game Nerd Movie title came burning on the screen at the beginning of the film, and the AVGN theme song was blaring, I couldn't help but crack a big dumb smile. My biggest criticism of the film is that it definitely could and maybe should have been shorter. 2 hours might have been slight overkill, some scenes seemed to drag on a bit, and the constant "you should review E.T." kinda got old. But the more I think about it, the more I think this repetition was done intentionally. I'm sure James has received a ton of requests over the years to review Atari's E.T., and maybe this was his way of saying, I get it, I fucking get it. If that's the case, bravo. What else? Oh, I wish Eddie Pepitone was in the movie more. He plays the nerd's boss at the beginning of the film. His appearance was short, but aside from James Rolfe as the nerd, he probably had my favorite performance in the entire film. Perfectly cast as playing a loudmouth retail store sleazeball. I think the movie might have benefited a bit by keeping him around more. That might have been a budget issue. Pepitone is decently well known and may have been an expensive addition to the cast, but that's just an assumption. The movie had so much shit crammed into it, from car chases to numerous monsters, corporate sleaze to secret government agencies. I mean, there's a lot of shit going on in this movie, which is not a bad thing. This was James and Kevin's opportunity to make a big full-length feature film, and maybe they thought they'd never have another chance to do it, so they tossed in as much as they could. And it succeeds, it delivers. It's very weird, fun, loud, and super goofy. I took a few days to write this review just to let the movie sink in, and over these few days, I found myself liking the movie more and more. Sure, I enjoyed the film while watching it, but over these couple of days, the AVGN movie experience has continued to grow on me. And that's what it is, an experience. There's really nothing like it. Was it the best movie I've ever seen? Hell no. Was it the worst movie I've ever seen? Definitely not. My judgment might be muddled due to my love of the Angry Video Game Nerd, but I thoroughly enjoyed this film. I wish I had the opportunity to go to one of the numerous screenings they had across the United States, because I think the best way to watch the Angry Video Game Nerd movie would be to watch it with Angry Video Game Nerd fans. Personally, I would love to sit down and watch another James Rolfe and Kevin Finn movie if the opportunity ever presents itself. I genuinely hope this experience opens more doors for them to make new movies. I'm not going to give this movie a numerical or alphabetical rating. It's my personal belief that the point system critics out there do a great injustice. Like I said earlier, this movie is definitely not for everybody. It's for a very focused audience. If you want to watch a movie that was made with heart and years of labor, this is it. Oh, and do not torrent this movie. If you do, you're a grade A cut of supermarket cow shit. The movie is available digitally on Vimeo for a $5 rental or a $10 purchase. Or you can wait for the DVD and Blu-ray release supposedly coming out later this year. I'll be picking up the Angry Video Game Nerd movie on Blu-ray for the hours of promised bonus features. Can't wait. Be sure to like the Hello Greedo Facebook page, follow me on both Twitter and Instagram, and join the Hello Greedo forum at hellogreedo.com. As always, thanks for watching. Hello Greedo, out.